Illinois State Redbird basketball, live on WMBD TV.
Bone-chilling temperatures throughout central Illinois, outside but warm and cozy at Redbird Arena, where the best rivalry in the Missouri Valley Conference resumes tonight as Bradley pays a visit to Illinois State. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to I-74 Rivalry Round 2. Bradley and ISU here on News Channel 31. Kurt Pegler along with former Redbird standout Todd Cagle. Both of these teams, Todd, really in desperate need of a victory. Let's start with the Braves. They've lost 2 in a row coming into tonight's game, but the guy that's really been playing well lately is Daniel Ruffin. Yeah, Daniel Ruffin is one of the fastest players in the Missouri Valley, if not the country. The Braves' offense is predicated on what he does. His decision-making and his penetration will lead the Braves in their offense tonight. Meanwhile, the Redbirds have lost their last 4 games against the Braves, looking to turn things around tonight and getting great play from a freshman. Osiris Eldridge, one of the top freshmen in the league, possibly the top freshman newcomer this year. He's one of the top scorers for the Redbirds in the last 5 minutes of games. They'll need a big scoring night out of him tonight if they want to compete. 11 days ago, Bradley won the first meeting between the two teams by 21 points. The rematch is up next. Stay tuned. The starting lineups and the opening tip from Redbird Arena is around the corner. Bradley and ISU live here on News Channel 31. Illinois State playing host to the Bradley Braves. The Braves come in with a 15-9 record, a 6-6 mark in the league. Illinois State 12-11 overall, 4-8 in the conference. Let's take a look at the starting fives for both teams. So we'll start with the visitors, the Bradley Braves, who will go with that guard-dominated offense. Daniel Ruffin, Will Franklin, J.J. Twy, all guards. They usually play 4 guards, but tonight they'll start with 3 and 2 forwards, Matt Sally and Zach Andrews. So it'll be Ruffin, Franklin, Twy, Sally, and Andrews, the starting 5 for the Bradley Braves. Illinois State will counter with a lineup that has Boo Richardson, Osiris Eldridge, we mentioned the freshman at the top of the show, Bobby Hill. So the Redbirds with 2 freshmen in their starting 5, along with Greg Dilligard and Levi Dyer. And the Redbirds again at 4-8 in the conference. Bradley is coached by Jim Less in his 5th season. 77 wins, 69 losses, the class of 1986 from Bradley. 7-3 all-time against the Redbirds. Bradley, by the way, is looking for its 2nd straight win in normal. And if they do that, that'll be the first time they've been able to say they've won 2 straight road games at ISU since they won 3 in a row, 86, 87, and 88. The Redbirds are coached by Porter Moser, 48-61 in his 4th year at ISU. 7 years total, he's 102 and 95. He is 2-6 all-time against the Bradley Braves. Well, Todd, 10 days ago, we mentioned 11 days ago, these two teams met at Carver Arena, and it was all Bradley. The Braves hit 13 of their first 14 shots of that game, ran out to a big lead and didn't look back, and winning by 21. What do you see as the keys for tonight's game?
Well, I think there's 2 different sides here from a Bradley perspective. Anytime you play in an ISU Bradley game, the crowd is going to be highly engaged, so I think Bradley needs to keep the crowd under control. Focus on their game. Also, they've talked about Levi Dyer from Illinois State as a concern, because as a big man, sometimes you forget to guard the 3-point line, so he can sneak away from the basket and find some open 3-point shots. From an ISU perspective, they absolutely need to defend the 3. Bradley's one of the leading 3-point shooting teams in the country. Bradley also can kind of light it up from outside, but they can also drive inside. So I think dribble penetration. Illinois State, their defense is the key to tonight's game for them being successful.
This is the 104th all-time meeting between these I-74 rivals. The series date back to the 1904-05 season. Bradley leads the all-time series 58-45, and Bradley has won the last 4 games. This is the appetizer to a main course tomorrow. Here on News Channel 31, we bring you coverage of Super Bowl 41 as the Bears take on the Indianapolis Colts. They'll kick off about 5:25 local time in Miami, but coverage begins at about noon. And again, we're looking forward to that game, the Bears and the Colts, live here tomorrow, Super Bowl 41 here on News Channel 31. But what a great appetizer here tonight, and what a great atmosphere. Todd, you played in many of these games when you were with the Redbirds. There's something special about the Bradley ISU game every year.
Well, the etiquette and the pleasantries kind of go out the window in this game. It's all emotion. The players just want to win the game. That's the key for them. They just want to win the game, and they want to please their fans. And for Illinois State, right, they want to scratch in the series this year. It's been a while. For them against Bradley, they'd like to get a win against the Braves.
You know, this was an important game last year for the Braves about a year ago at this time. And Bradley won the game here in Normal and then went on a 7-game winning streak to close out the regular season. Then went to the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game and got a bid into the NCAA tournament. Of course, we know what happened there. The Braves then went into the Sweet 16, so they were able to ride the momentum from a very emotional victory last year and parlay that into their postseason success. And as you mentioned, Illinois State certainly wants to defend its home floor tonight.
Well, Bradley is, I think they're looking for postseason again. This is a crucial game for them, not just because it's ISU, but because they have their focus on postseason. Their RPI is 49th in the country. I absolutely think they have a chance for postseason, but tonight's a key for them.
We remind you that this copywritten telecast is presented by the authority of Illinois State University and WMBD Television and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Illinois State University and WMBD TV. Again, Bradley at 15-9. The Braves have dropped their last 2 games at home to Creighton and on the road to Missouri State. ISU 12-11 overall, 4-8 in the conference. The Redbirds have played very well at home, already have beaten Northern Iowa here. They've beaten Wichita State here, and certainly a win over the Bradley Braves on their home floor would be a big win as well.
What a tough league this year the Valley has become. It's the 4th-rated conference in the country. 7 of the top 90 teams are in the RPI. 7 of the top 90 RPI teams belong to this conference. So I don't expect anything but this to be a great game tonight.
Well, adding to the spice of this game, it is Doug Collins' night here in Normal. We're a little bit behind schedule because they had a pregame ceremony where they have named this floor now the Doug Collins floor at Redbird Arena. We're hoping to hear from Doug Collins at halftime. He did not address anybody here before the game. It was a quick pregame ceremony, but at halftime he will address the fans here, and we hope to bring that to you here on Channel 31. What a great night for him too, huh? Anybody
who's been in Normal for very long has been influenced by what Doug Collins has meant to this university, and really excited about the court being named after him.
The officials working tonight's Missouri Valley Conference game: Eddie A. Jackson, Dave Drucker, and Steve Gordon. Bradley comes out in their road red uniforms with white and black trim. Illinois State in their home whites with red and black trim. Everybody in the stands is wearing red, so it's hard to figure out who's pulling for the Redbirds and who's pulling for the Braves. But again, that's one of the great nuances about this game. Zach Andrews to jump for Bradley, Greg Dilligard to jump for Illinois State. And we are underway here in Normal. The Redbirds control the tap. They'll have the first possession. We're glad you're alongside for Illinois State and Bradley. I-74 rivalry time here on News Channel 31.
Bradley starts off in a man-to-man. Illinois State's going to go ahead and try and work the offense. Typically, they're going to look for a 3-point shot. 2 out of every 5 shots for them are 3-pointers, and there we go.
And there's Boo Richardson with a 3, a big start for the Redbirds.
Good start for Illinois State. They go man-to-man as well. The key for Illinois State tonight is to really guard the dribble penetration. It looks like Bobby Hill is going to start off on Daniel Ruffin.
Now, Porter Moser has said that as Boo Richardson goes, so goes his team. And when he gets off to a good start, usually things are pretty good for the Redbirds. Matt Sally, the miss, and J.J. Twy goes and gets the offensive rebound. And now it's Ruffin behind a screen from Andrews. Hill is guarding him. Ruffin is so quick. He hangs, passes to J.J. Twy, slipped the pass to Sally, had a shot blocked that time by Hill. Now it's Ruffin for 3, in and out, and cleared by Osiris Eldridge. Here come the Redbirds now back in transition. Richardson is going to bring it back out.
These two teams will push the basketball. Bradley is a high-scoring offense, and I think Illinois State will want to run it home as well.
At least on paper, you'd think this game would be full with a lot of threes and a lot of offense.
Absolutely.
Now it's Hill, the freshman from St. Louis, and he draws a foul on Twy.
Bobby Hill recently has been inserted in the lineup. Didn't get a lot of playing time early in the year, but is really starting to come on from what the coaches are telling us. There's good aggressive dribble penetration. Small slap on the hand.
Well, Hill's going to get to the free throw line. You mentioned, Todd, that he's been getting some more minutes. He's played 95 minutes in his last 8 games. Counter that with just 26 total minutes in the Redbirds' first 14 games. So obviously he's played his way into Porter Moser's rotation, and that free throw touched about every part of the rim before it went down.
Porter likes his athleticism, likes he's long, can guard out both underneath and then out on the perimeter. But I think offensively he's also given him a small boost as well.
He made an interesting comparison to me about Bobby Hill. He's almost like a newborn colt who's got those long, lanky legs. He's trying to get himself ready, and you know, when those newborn thoroughbreds don't get a chance to run, and that's what Bobby Hill is. And now it's another three from Boo Richardson, so he's knocked down a pair of threes. He has 6 of Illinois State's 7. The Redbirds are out to a 7-0 lead.
Strong ball screen there by Levi. You're going to see a lot of ball screens tonight around the perimeter, not only from Illinois State's perspective, but Bradley's. Everything is predicated off the ball screen for both of these offenses.
And Matt Sally turns the basketball over. He miscommunicated with Daniel Ruffin, and the Braves want 30 seconds to talk things over as the Birds are out to a 7-0 advantage.
Well, we've talked about crowd control. I think Coach Les is in agreement that this game cannot get out of control. Similarly to how Illinois State somehow lost control 10 days ago at Carver.
Well, the Braves in that game shot 71% in the first half. As we've already mentioned, they made 13 of their first 14 shots, and that just really buried the Redbirds. And now Illinois State trying to do the same here on their home floor.
Well, maybe we should have the other line out there as well to see the NBA range there. I didn't know he had that type of range.
Well, Richardson is not afraid to shoot the three. That's his 88th three-point attempt on the season. He shoots it at 34%. That percentage will go up now since he's 2 for 2. He made 6 three-pointers in a game earlier this year at Drake when he pumped in 24 points, which is his season and career high.
Yeah, like I said, both teams really focus on the three-point line. Both teams have to defend probably beyond the three-point line, maybe even a little bit more than what they're used to.
Now Bradley showing a trap, and the Redbirds get the ball across the floor. Now Levi Dyer touched the basketball for his first time there in that offensive set. He's a guy that Bradley has identified as a key to tonight's game.
Bradley's going to stay zone here.
And there's Levi Dyer's first shot. That's good, and that's a three. The Redbirds have dropped 3 three-point shots on the Braves and lead it 10-0. And now it's Ruffin. His shot rolls off. The Braves have missed their first 4 shots from the floor now. Dyer probably traveled. Yes, he did. He was trying to back down on Zach Andrews, and he lost control of it.
Probably not a place where he feels comfortable on the court.
And now Jeremy Crouch, the junior from Pekin, is checked in the game for the Bradley Braves. He replaces Matt Sally. So now there's that 4-guard offense that the Braves have on the floor with Crouch, Franklin, Twy, and Ruffin will bring the ball up the floor.
This lineup has 4 players with at least 50 makes from the three-point range. All of them are over 40%. You rarely see that in college basketball.
And now it's Twy. There's a 3. That rim's no good. And the long rebound goes now to Boo Richardson. The Redbirds checked out nicely. Dyer thought about the 3, and he dropped it down inside. Dilligard is stripped. The Braves come away with it. Now it's Ruffin quickly up the floor. Here's Franklin. He's cut off by Richardson. Ruffin hands to Crouch now. He's down the lane. He puts it on. It's swatted out of there by Greg Dilligard. The all-time blocks leader at Illinois State just picked up his 153rd block in his career and his 29th of the season.
That's the help side defense that Porter will continually preach to his players. He's got to watch the penetration tonight and absolutely going to need help. I didn't think on Crouch he needs so much help, but definitely on guys like Ruffin and Franklin.
A nice round of applause for Dom Johnson now, who's checked in the game for Illinois State. He attended his grandfather's funeral earlier today in Missouri and was very doubtful that he'd make it back in time for the game, but he's here and playing. The second crack for Will Franklin finally goes down. The Braves get a 3, and they're finally on the board. They went better than 3, about 3 minutes and 20 seconds without a hoop.
We predicted a lot of 3s in this game. I guess we didn't know they'd all be 3s, did we?
Somebody's got to make a 2, right? Here's the steal now. It's Crouch ahead to Ruffin, and it's going to be offensive or defensive goaltending, I should say. As Eldridge hustled back, he's going to be called for goaltending. So count that basket for Ruffin, and there's our first 2-point basket of the night.
As you mentioned, Dom Johnson came back from a funeral this morning. Sometimes the guys that play with heavy hearts actually come with a great performance. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts to his personal situation tonight.
One of your former teammates, Ricky Jackson, did that in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament about, 17 years ago.
Was it that long?
It was 1990, if I remember correctly. There's Dilligard inside scoring. Dilligard has made 22 of his last 23 shots from the floor in his last 5 games. He is on a roll. Now it's Franklin, stutter step. He gives to Crouch. Thought about the 3, guarded nicely that time by Eldridge. Slipped it down to Andrews, who scores and draws the foul.
There's the ball screen that we're going to talk about all night. Zach Andrews is so strong, he'll rub people off the ball handler, and then he'll go ahead and dive to the hoop.
We've got a timeout on the floor. 15:44 to go here, first half. Redbirds out to a quick 12-7 lead over Bradley. It's the I-74 rivalry rematch here on News Channel 31.
You're watching WMBD News Channel 31, your exclusive home for Super Bowl 41.
At Fort's Toyota of Pekin, we make it easy. Drive America's #1 selling car, the '07 Camry. Check out 7 vehicles that get 30 miles per gallon or better, including the Corolla, Avalon, and RAV4. We're easy to get to. Just take I-474 to Route 29. Only at Fort's Toyota of Pekin. Moving forward. Fort's Toyota of Pekin.
Bigger refunds are better. And at Sharp Income Tax Service, you'll get bigger refunds within minutes of walking through our doors. Get your money now at Sharp Income Tax Service.
Fly nonstop from Peoria to Tampa, St. Petersburg on Allegiant Air. Fly nonstop from Peoria to Tampa, St. Petersburg. Book now on AllegiantAir.com.
Your case is important to you. It's important to us. Talk to us. Gold Fine and Bold. There isn't any charge. We'll tell you what we think, then you decide.
Let's take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference standings as we are in the second half of the conference season. Now each team will have played 12 games, in some instances 13 games now after tonight's competition. The Salukis of Southern Illinois now the first team with 10 wins in the league, is SIU with an impressive win over Wichita State today. So the Salukis at 10-3 now have a half-game lead over Creighton. The Blue Jays are in action tonight at Drake. Meanwhile, it was Missouri State also winning today. So the Bears and the Salukis have wins. And again, it's a Southern Illinois advantage by a half a game right now over Creighton. You saw where the Braves are in the thick of the pack, and Illinois State trying to make some headway on the Indiana State Sycamores and the Evansville Purple Aces, who are directly ahead of them in the standings.
Can't say enough about what the coaches and the players have done in this league this year. They've gone out and played the teams on the road that they've had to play to win, and the coaches have absolutely brought their programs to another level in the league this year.
Well, certainly the Missouri Valley Conference enjoying a big renaissance these last 2 seasons as Andrews makes good on the free throw. So the three-point play is good for the Braves, and now Andrews will go to the bench in favor of Matt Sally.
So Bradley's kind of survived the run that we talked about with the crowd control early. Kind of got themselves back into the game here. I guess they're going to stay in zone for another possession or 2.
Roberto Fortes is in the game now for Illinois State. He has checked in, as has Anthony Slack. After a 10-0 run by Illinois State to start the game, it's 12-8. Another 3. It's Dom Johnson.
Everybody's got range tonight. Those are a couple steps off the three-point line.
The Redbirds are now 4 for 4 from three-point land. Jeremy Crouch with this. How about Boone Richardson going up at 5'9", getting that defensive board? And now the bounce pass is picked off. It was intended for Slack. Sally got back there quickly, and the Braves are going to come away with it.
Maybe a little over-aggressive there on that decision, but you can tell that Boo really wants to push the tempo tonight.
Ruffin snaps a pass down to Twy. Drew contact, no call, missed the shot. Now it's Sally, the offensive board. He backs in on Slack, shoots it, can't get it. Dyer goes up and fights for it with Sally. And let's see, they're going to call it a jump ball, held ball, and it's going to be Bradley's possession.
I think we're going to see some contact underneath tonight, don't you?
I think so.
Those guys are really getting after it.
We've already seen it, and the officials so far have let him play.
They're absolutely letting him play.
Danny Adams, the senior from Metamora, has checked in now for Bradley, and Greg Dilligard is back in the game for the Redbirds. He replaces Levi Dyer. Twy is going to be a Bradley bench. That's who Adams is replacing in the lineup. And Adams, again, another one of those three-point threats.
Illinois State's going to prefer to stay man-to-man as long as they can.
Crouch was left open. The Redbirds left him open. It looked like maybe a missed assignment on the defensive end, and Jeremy Crouch knocks down his first 3.
They'll stay man-to-man as long as they can keep the three-point shot under control. If things like that start to happen, you might see Porter go to a couple jump defenses along the way.
Here's Johnson. He goes inside the Slack, double teamed. He slips the ball down to Dilligard, and it poked from behind by Franklin, out of bounds. Dilligard went 8 for 8 from the field against the Braves in Peoria, which is an all-time record for a Bradley opponent at Carver Arena. He broke Porter Moser's old record. Porter was 7 for 7 in the game when he was with the Creighton Blue Jays.
Porter asked us to say that, didn't he?
He says he still has that game. That was a regionally televised game. He says he still has it on tape. And Dilligard with the long pass out to Blue Richardson. We've played just about 6 minutes here at Redbird Arena. It's Illinois State 15 and Bradley 11. Dilligard goes down to Slack through a double team. He's trying to go around Adams, and he's going to be fouled. It looks like Adams may have gotten him, either Adams or Sally.
I thought Slack might have been called there for a hook initially, but they got the double teamer early.
It's going to be Adams' whistle for the foul.
And there's the double team. Bradley needs to be careful about double teaming the post because Illinois State is going to do everything off the three-point shot. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that if the low post players from Illinois State start to score.
And now we're going to have a hold called against the Braves. So that's 2 defensive fouls here against Bradley. Jim West not too happy about that call. So that's on Matt Sally.
I think Illinois State will try and score off this inbound play right here.
3rd team foul now against the Braves. It's Fortes for 3. And the Redbirds finally miss a 3-point shot. They hit their first 4. Now it's Adams quickly back for Bradley. Braves trying to cut into this 4-point Illinois State lead. A much better start for the Redbirds than their first matchup at Carver Arena, that's for sure.
Franklin's been a little quiet so far tonight.
Richardson's on him. Now it's Adams. Now it's back to Franklin with 10 on the shot clock. Sally backs in on Dilligard. His short jumper is no good. Slack looks inside now to Dilligard. Dilligard calling for the basketball. He's being guarded by Sally. Now he has it on the low block, and he draws a double team quickly. Redbirds swing the ball over. Johnson, another 3, is missed.
That's what Illinois State's looking for. Dilligard to post hard and then allow him to kick out of the double team and find somebody that's open on the 3-point line.
Franklin works on Blue Richardson. Can't get the shot to go. Tipped it. It's controlled by the Birds. Slack gets it ahead now to Richardson. 3-on-1 if they hurry. He gets it to Fortes, who's going to get to the free throw line.
Well, Blue Richardson wants to get the ball and go. Every time he gets it, he's calling for the ball, and he's going to push it as far as he can. Nice play there to hand it off. Here he comes. Gets it from half court. He's going to push as hard as he can. He looks left, but kicks it right. Strong play by Fortes, just couldn't convert.
Adams has picked up his 2nd foul now, and it's Roberto Fortes, the senior from Fort Wayne, to the free throw line. Fortes really heated it up for the Redbirds last year towards the end of the year. And the Redbirds were hoping that he would start this season as he finished last season. Hasn't been quite the case. He had a terrific game against St. John's earlier this year in the non-conference schedule, 13 points and 7 rebounds. But really, I think you've got to give credit to the Redbird newcomers that have probably taken away some of Roberto's minutes.
Roberto's got a lot of skills on the offensive end. I know Coach Moser would like him to move his feet a little bit more on defense. Those are 2 key misses right there.
Andrew Warren's in the game for Bradley. He came away with that rebound. Mike Vandelo is checked in for Illinois State. Bobby Hill's back in for the Redbirds as well. Al Ruffin with Dom Johnson on him. Pass out now to Adams, and it's a skip over to Warren. Braves trying to spread the floor and get those 3-point shooters good looks. There's a good look. Andrews, he got it from Ruffin and he jammed it home.
Ruffin controls the pace of the play. He does such a good job when he has the ball in his hands of making the Bradley offense work the way it should.
The ISU coaching staff says that Ruffin is such a difficult matchup really for anybody, not only in the league, in the country, that he is certainly the key to triggering all of this motion and this idea that the Braves are able to get those open 3-point looks.
He's so quick. He can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot it from the 3-point lane, and he can definitely make good decisions when he gets inside the lane to find his other teammates.
And Ruffin has really stepped up his game in the last 6 or 7 outings. The Redbirds with the basketball and a 3-point lead as we approach the 12-minute mark left here, first half. Kurt Pegler, Todd Cagle with you at Redbird Arena for ISU and Bradley, round 2. Now it's Johnson, a 3 from the other side of the floor, so he's got 3s from the left wing and now the right wing. So Don Johnson, who we weren't even sure was going to play due to the death of his grandfather, has given the Redbirds a lift off the bench, knocked down a couple of threes. And now another jam inside to Zach Andrews.
The Illinois State's help side defense, Porter could not be happy about that. You'll see that was Bobby Hill that missed his assignment on the help side.
19-15. The Illinois State lead. Here's Eldridge now.
Got to be able to defend the ball screen in this game. If you can't, you will not play.
And now Anthony Slack is going to be called for a hook, an offensive foul, as he was double-teamed on the low block. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 11-17 to go here in the first half. Very entertaining start. It's Illinois State 19 and Bradley 15.
Southside Bank, there is a difference. Southside Bank.
The thing about Southside Bank is that they've been around a long time. They're going to be here for a long time, and you want to find someone who's going to give you the quality of service on a consistent basis without deviation. And Southside Bank does that.
We're still the one. Southside Bank, there is a difference. Southside Bank.
And now for today's grain markets. Soybeans are up with NK brand Roundup Ready beans leading the way. Growers can earn up to a total of 21 cents more per bushel with NK beans and selected Syngenta crop protection products. This unprecedented grain premium is good on your first 60 bushels per acre. Talk to your Garst, Golden Harvest, or NK brand seed dealer today about how you can earn an additional 21 cents per bushel with NK Roundup Ready beans.
Recently, Car and Driver invited 600 of its readers to compare 3 cars in performance, handling, and styling. So who won? Camry? Accord? Actually, the all-wheel drive Ford Fusion came in first. Check it out yourself. Visit a Ford dealer or go to FusionChallenge.com. Now just sign and drive off with 0 down, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing. Lease a Ford Fusion for only $249 a month. Take the Fusion Challenge today.
Anthony Slack called for a foul here on the offensive end. And Todd, you said this was actually kind of a foul in the making, right?
Well, I think we caught Anthony on a replay earlier where he had used his elbow a little creatively. I think Coach Les might have set that up with the referees maybe a little bit before that happened. That was a good move probably on Coach Les to be making the officials aware of what Anthony Slack's trying to do on the low block.
So the Redbirds come back on the floor with Boo Richardson, Osiris Eldridge, Anthony Slack, Don Johnson, and Levi Dyer, who's now back in the game. And Bradley counters with Jeremy Crouch, Andrew Warren, Will Franklin, Zach Andrews, and J.J. Twy.
Don't put it past either of these two coaches to try and get an one-upsman with the officials tonight.
We played just about 9 minutes here at Redbird Arena. Illinois State ran out to a 10-0 lead, and the Redbirds have a 19-15 advantage here. Richardson gets his hand on the ball, but Franklin maintains possession. Now it's Twy on the baseline left. His kick out is to Franklin. Touch pass into Andrews. Whistle away from the basketball. It's going to be a foul against the Birds.
ISU briefly went to a zone there for one possession. Porter did say they were going to have to mix up the looks for Bradley so that way Ruffin couldn't control the game too much, but he's actually out right now. See how this affects Bradley.
The Braves have a nice luxury of having Will Franklin being able to run the offense as well. He and Ruffin are a terrific 1-2 punch there in that backcourt.
Andrews has been very active underneath. I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to look for him.
Franklin behind a screen from Andrews. His pull-up jumper is good.
We expect Will Franklin to have a big impact on this game. He needs to get going if Bradley wants to claw back into this thing.
Franklin is a guy that last year averaged just 5 points a game. This year he's 4th in the Valley at scoring with 15.5, so he's tripled his scoring output. And certainly is an all-league performer. And another offensive foul is going to be called against an Illinois State big man. This time Levi Dyer is going to be called for it. Check that, Don Johnson is called for it. But again, it's a similar situation where it's down on the post. The Redbirds have been whistled for a couple of them now.
Illinois State with some full court pressure here. Probably fall back into the zone.
And the Braves have a chance to shoot from the tie or a lead on this possession now. As we approach the 10-minute mark, halfway through this opening half here at Redbird Arena.
Look for the corner against the zone to be open for a three-point shot.
Franklin down the lane, hangs, fires, and we are tied.
Great play. That's just an individual play that you can't guard right there. Will Franklin can do it on his own.
Richardson nearly traveled. It's Levi Dyer. His shot is no good, and Andrew Warren comes down with a rebound, and now the Braves shoot for their first lead of the night. Here's Franklin. He tries to slip the ball down to Andrews. He gets it to him. Zach Andrews in traffic, and now Porter Moser wants timeout.
Wow, Bradley can put points on the board in a hurry. They went through a quick flurry in about 3 possessions there. Illinois State's probably going to come out of the zone at this point.
ISU started the game on a 10-0 run, and since that point, Bradley's outscored Illinois State 21-9, and at the 9:31 mark, Bradley's in its first lead at 21-19. This is a special night here again at Redbird Arena. Doug Collins Court unveiled as the university is naming the floor here at Redbird Arena after ISU's greatest basketball player of all time, the former Olympian and first-round pick in the NBA draft in 1973. At halftime, he's going to address the crowd here at Redbird Arena, and we're hoping to bring some of that to you. Nice little pregame ceremony honoring him. Al Bowman, Dr. Al Bowman, the president of the university, was part of it, and here you're going to see some unveiling of the new logos on the floor here at Redbird Arena that says Doug Collins Court. So a special night, not only because it's Bradley against Illinois State, but Doug Collins is in the house.
Bradley's going to bring their own form of pressure here and drop back into their zone.
Here's Dyer. Now Eldridge. Levi has yet to score tonight. It's Dilligard. Now it's Dyer. Over J.J. Twy. He missed it. His three is no good. You know, check that. I guess you're right. Levi Dyer does have a three. But he's not been a part, really, of this offense for about 8 or 9 minutes here.
Illinois State's man-to-man. They're going to go back to trying to guard the dribble penetration and the ball screen.
Now it's going to be Jeremy Crouch from the corner. His three is no good. Again, it's Boo Richardson high up to get the defensive board. Now it's Eldridge working the baseline around Twy. His floater from the baseline is no good, but he drew contact, and so Osiris Eldridge is going to get some foul shots here.
You can see Illinois State had some success with their early transition offense. I think Porter would like them to continue to push the ball up. There's Osiris trying to be aggressive. Anytime you can be aggressive, good things will happen. That may have been a suspect shot, but he can get fouled. He can make a play. He can make a pass.
He's certainly playing like a player who's played more games than he has in the Missouri Valley Conference. He's just a freshman, and in Illinois State's win against Evansville earlier this week, he scored 9 of his 14 points in the final 2 minutes. In crunch time, he was the one with the ball.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this before. He's actually Illinois State's leading scorer in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Right. So it's a freshman that wants the ball in his hands for the Redbirds at crunch time, and he's responded. He makes the free throws, and we're back even at 21. 8.5 to go here in this opening half.
It's cat and mouse between these two coaches. What type of defense are they going to play and how are they going to defend?
Twy tries to slip the pass down to Jeremy Crouch. It's out of bounds, and it's off of the Redbirds. So with 22 seconds on the shot clock, Bradley maintains possession.
Bradley will look to score out of bounds underneath. They'll try and get up a shot off of the screen.
Now it's Crouch. His three is front of the rim, no good, and Dyer has the defensive board for the Redbirds.
Coach Les likes to score off the out of bounds underneath. I don't know if he liked that shot though.
Dilligard inside, and Greg Dilligard continues his hot shooting. 2 for 2 from the floor now. He's 22 of his last 23 from the field in 5 games. Twy's jumper is no good. Eldridge goes and gets for the Birds. Quickly up the floor. Johnson thought about the three, stepped inside, now kicks out to Dyer. With Franklin on him. Eldridge drew a foul that time on Daniel Ruffin. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 7:38 to go here in this first half. It's Illinois State 23 and Bradley 21.
that's one serious truck. The all-new Toyota Tundra, moving you forward at Peoria Toyota Scion.
Jay Jansen.
People are contacting the Jansen Law Center concerning serious injuries sustained at work. Back operations, shoulder operations, knee operations. These type of serious injuries can entitle a working person to lifetime benefits, lifetime medical, perhaps vocational rehabilitation. Contact the Jansen Law Center concerning your rights.
Jay Jansen. One name says it all.
For everything she is and will be, Hearts on Fire, the world's most perfectly cut diamond.
Available exclusively at Bremer Jewelry in Peoria. And now, Bloomington.
Well, after going 8 for 8 in the game against the Braves in Peoria, Greg Dilligard has hit his first 2 shots for the Redbirds. A nice play down here, a drop-down pass.
Levi Dyer has such a dangerous three-point shot that forces the Bradley defense to come out and guard him, leaving Greg Dilligard one-on-one right underneath the basket. It's good to have that high-low action, especially with somebody like Levi on the floor.
Bradley and ISU college hoops tonight. The Bears and the Colts tomorrow. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. here on WMBD News Channel 31. They'll kick things off in Miami about 5:20. Your official home for Super Bowl 41 is News Channel 31. Boy, what a roll. We mentioned that Greg Dilligard is 23 of his last 24 shots he has made. That's a stretch of 5 games.
You know, we talked at the break there that Levi has not touched the ball too often tonight. That was one of the keys of the game for Bradley, was to kind of keep Levi under control and keep somebody close to him at all times.
Eldridge for 3. That's no good, and the long rebound is right in front of the Bradley bench, and it's going to go to the Braves. Lennox Forrester, the Bradley coach, got out of dodge when that ball was headed his way. Didn't want anybody flying at him. Well, the one thing we mentioned about with Levi is that he's got the shooting touch of a guard, he's got the build of a center, and the shooting touch of a guard, and he can cause a lot of matchup problems because he does have such a range, and so when he gets rolling, it certainly adds a whole other dimension to the Illinois State game.
And he took advantage on one of the last possessions there by actually making a nice pass to Greg. You saw that coming out of the timeout.
Franklin, dribble drive. He scored. He just beat Boone Richardson, took it from the top of the circle all the way down.
I think Will's starting to feel it a little bit.
Franklin now with 9 points. He and Zach Andrews leading the way for the Braves. Each with 9. Now it's Eldridge. His shot is off the front of the rim. Now Bradley with a basketball and a chance for the lead again. It's going to be Danny Adams. His 3 is no good. Greg Dilligard gets it for the Birds.
Eldridge is going to come out of the game here on this next stop and play, I think. He's a freshman. He's only played in one other Bradley ISU game. He feels the crowd here. He's a guy that likes to get aggressive offensively anyway. I think Porter needs to maybe settle him down a little bit, let him catch his wind, talk him through some things, and then get him back in the game.
That foul on Matt Sally now is his second. He goes to the Bradley bench. The Braves are over the limit now with 17 fouls, so the Redbirds will shoot free throws. It's Greg Dilligard, and he'll admit this is a part of his game that he really needs to work on. 24 out of 62. He's just a 39% free throw shooter. Now it's Ruffin. Thought about the shot. Went to Adams behind the screen from Andrews.
Bobby Hill's done a good job on Ruffin tonight so far.
Franklin slips it to Andrews. Now back to Franklin. Both of those guys have combined for 18 of Bradley's 23. Now it's Twy spinning, shooting, and it's over the back of the backboard.
If Bobby Hill can keep pressure on Daniel Ruffin, that'll force Franklin to have to lead or predicate the offense. That might be an advantage for ISU right now if they can keep somebody big like Hill on Ruffin.
We got a whistle, and the foul is on Bradley's Zach Andrews. And he's been whistled for his second foul, and so Levi Dyer's going to walk down and shoot some free throws. So there was obviously some contact under the basket there, and the foul was whistled against the Braves. Levi Dyer is from Eaton, Colorado. And he's made a big splash now for the Redbirds in the second half of this season. And he points to the game in Omaha. Although it was a Redbird loss, that was the game where he probably started picking up his most confidence because he was able to score inside on Anthony Tolliver, and he added some inside moves to his already potent outside game. And here's a guy that last year averaged just 4.6 points a game, and he's at 10.3 now.
Bradley's kept him in check throughout the game, but 2 free throws like that, sometimes that's the play you need.
Now we got a lob down low. It's going to be Andrews. The foul is going to be against Dyer, it looks like. So Franklin lobbed to Andrews, who finished, and is going to be a 3-point opportunity for Bradley.
Andrews is extremely athletic. Just the lob by Will. Andrews can go up there and get it. I saw him against Creighton grab one of those and throw it down the other night. Good thing he didn't get hurt there.
So Dyer's second foul now chases him to the Redbird bench, and Anthony Slack comes in to replace him. Andrews is the free throw line now with a chance to put the Braves in front. And Sam Singh is at the scorer's table for Bradley, and he'll check in at the next whistle. So we're tied at 25 now with 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. A big difference in games between the game in Peoria, where Bradley was way out in front early, and this one here.
The Redbirds will need to swing the basketball against the zone. Looking for an open 3-point shot here.
Here's Hill, lost the dribble, inside down to Slack. He shoots over Andrews, and it rolls out. Now it's Ruffin with Hill on him all the way down, skipped it out now to Franklin, who found Twy at the top of the circle. Redbirds did a nice job of rotating defensively. Now it's Ruffin to an open J.J. Twy from the baseline. That's no good. Tipped out and controlled by the Birds. It's Johnson back in the front court behind the back dribble. Lost the ball. Twy came away with a steal. Now it's Ruffin. Back and forth action here. Now it's going to be Franklin baseline right. His three is no good. Twy goes and gets for Bradley. So the Braves get another look at the basket.
Bradley's had some good 3-point looks. It just haven't gone for him. Normally, I think they'd hit most of those.
Yeah, the Braves are just 2 of 11 from the 3-point line. Now it's Adams, make it 3 of 11. Bradley shooting less than 20% from 3-point land here tonight. Now it's going to be Bobby Hill who's going to get to the free throw line. He drew a foul on Daniel Ruffin.
A lot of bang-bang action there with not much to show for it. I think that's probably the pace that Bradley would like to play at, though. If they can keep this game up-tempo and get a lot of shots up, I think that favors Bradley.
Second foul now against Daniel Ruffin. 9th team foul against the Braves. And Bobby Hill, the freshman from St. Louis, to the foul line. He made his first career collegiate start on Tuesday night in the Redbirds' victory over Evansville. He played a career-high 22 minutes in that game and has now backed it up with a second start here tonight. And now Sam Singh and Andrew Warren come in for Bradley in place of Adams and Andrews. Meanwhile, it's Greg Dilligard and Dom Johnson to the Redbird bench. Mike Vandelo is in, as is Roberto Fortes for Illinois State.
The inside scoring threats both went to the bench for both teams there. Probably see a lot more from the 3-point line. Then again, those are 2 shot blockers, so maybe there's a chance to drive to the basket at this point.
Although Bobby Hill's points have come on free throws. Illinois State's in front by 2. Ruffin's shot was contested, and there's going to be a foul against Sam Singh now going for the offensive board. Where the Redbirds have really done a nice job of defending the Braves at the 3-point line. Bradley now 2 of 13 from 3-point land. Illinois State has a 27-25 lead over Bradley with 3:54 to go in the first half.
We're still the one, Southside Bank.
The thing that makes Southside unique, in my opinion, is when you go to them, they make a commitment to you. And that's what everybody is looking for. Can I go to a business such as Southside Bank to assist me in my financial needs? And Southside Bank does that.
We're still the one, Southside Bank, there is a difference. Southside Bank.
One of the most important things we do as lawyers is to put ourselves in our client's shoes, because what happens to them could happen to any of us.
At Parker & Halliday, we have the experience to handle your personal injury case with honesty and integrity.
Fly nonstop from Peoria to Tampa, St. Petersburg on Allegiant Air. Fly nonstop from Peoria to Tampa, St. Petersburg. Book now on AllegiantAir.com.
Velde GM Supercenter has all the GM makes and models you can ever imagine. That's 115 makes and models, all with a 100,000-mile warranty at Velde GM Supercenter in Pekin.
On a night when Illinois State University pays tribute to Doug Collins, they name the basketball floor the Doug Collins floor tonight. And look at that classic video from the early 70s. Those short shorts, red and white stripes on them. Doug Collins floor from here on out here at Redbird Arena. That's great stuff. Doug Collins with his family in the stands tonight. And again, he will address the crowd here at halftime. And we're going to bring some of that for you here on News Channel 31. When you take a look at Doug Collins' numbers, Todd, 2,200 career points. That's #1 all-time. He's #1 in career scoring average. He averaged 29.1 points a game. He's #1 for a season scoring average at over 32 points a game. All of that without the shot clock, without the three-point shot, and freshmen weren't allowed to play back.
All those numbers in just 3 years of play. That's amazing, isn't it?
You see some of those numbers. He had 34 games of scoring 30 or more points. All of those numbers, and he did it at Horton Fieldhouse, and it was nice to see him before the game. And again, he's going to address the folks here at halftime, and we'll bring that for you. So Anthony Slack splits those foul shots. The Redbird lead is 3 now at 28-25.
Well, I've been so impressed with Andrews tonight from Bradley. Although he's sitting on the taking a little rest right now, I've been really impressed. He's 5 for 5 from the field. He's got 11 points. I think he's kind of controlling the game on both ends of the court right now.
He's certainly been a big factor in this game because the Redbirds have done such a nice job on the perimeter players of the Braves. There's a foul now as Jeremy Crouch drew contact, and that's going to go against Anthony Slack and the Birds.
Crouch looks like he's moving okay. You know, he's only been back for a few games. He looks like he's moving okay. I don't know. I haven't seen him as much as you have, but how do you assess him?
Well,
right
he's
now?
sprained right knee, and the coaching staff told us before the game that he's probably at about 85 or 90%. He's not 100%. He can't do every single thing that he did before the injury, which he sustained in late December. But certainly Bradley just likes having him back in uniform and on the floor. And now Will Franklin is going to get to the free throw line as he drew contact.
Vandelo just gets in the game. That's a tough call on a kid that's just trying to be aggressive. But I think Franklin knew that as well. He's going to go ahead and take advantage of what the officials are going to give him here. He's really maybe the sole scorer right now on the floor for Bradley, so he has to be aggressive.
Well, Will Franklin last year was a part of the All-Missouri Valley Conference bench team. He was recruited as a backup point guard, but he has put together a resume now that probably lands him on the all-conference team this year. What a year he's put together.
I was just going to say that. I think he'll find himself on some kind of team here at the end of the season.
4th in the league in scoring, again after averaging just 5 points a game last year. 15.5 points a game this year. He's already in double figures now for Bradley here in this game here. He's got 11.
I think you got to give credit to the staff. Last year they were an inside-dominated team. They had two big fellas that kind of did a lot of the scoring for them. This year they've totally revamped the way that they play basketball from a perimeter perspective, and obviously Will Franklin's been a huge part of that.
Well, the Braves lost their top 4 scorers from a year ago, and as you mentioned, Marcellus Somerville and Patrick O'Brien, a big part of that. Now they've revamped the offense to be guard-oriented. 5 seconds on the shot clock now for the Birds. It's Vandelo off the glass, rolls off, and it's cleared by Sam Singh. Now the Braves trail by a point with a basketball. Under 3 minutes to go here in the opening half. Singh trails the play.
Great pass.
Finish. That time Will Franklin slipped it to him, but back come the Birds.
Outstanding pass.
Richardson behind a screen from Dilligard. Stutter step now. He's cut off by Crouch. Looking inside to Dilligard, stays outside now. Now it's Dilligard, draws a double team, hand on it, ball on the floor. Vandalo tries to go and get it, rolls off of a Bradley playing out of bounds. It looked like it was off of Andrew Warren.
Dilligard's making the right look. He just has to execute on the pass and the cut there from Vandalo. He's looking the right place. He just needs to execute on that pass.
12 seconds on the shot clock in this possession now for the Redbirds.
Oh, almost an over and back.
5 to shoot. Now it's Boo Richardson for 3. No good. Crouch up to get it. He flips it ahead now to Warren. It's one-on-one with Boo Richardson. Warren takes it to the hole. Drew foul that time on Richardson. Porter Moser's not happy at all about that call.
Bradley's going to get out and run every chance they get. I think that one could have gone either way. He's going to go ahead and be aggressive. Boo. I think that was the right call.
And so now Warren, who is a freshman for the Braves from Indianapolis. I wonder which football team he'll be pulling for tomorrow. His cousin Johnny Davis played for the Indiana Pacers and is now a coach on the Pacers staff. So he's got some great bloodlines there. The Braves are really high on this guy. They know he's a freshman. They think he's got a great upside. And he's just given Bradley the lead at 29-28.
This token 1-3-1 pressure has kept Illinois State kind of at bay because they're having to go to the end of the shot clock and look for shots or create shots at the end of the shot clock. Not getting everything they want.
Osiris Eldridge whistled for the turnover as he had the stutter step at the top of the circle. That is the 8th turnover against Illinois State. Now Dom Johnson returns to the game. He'll replace Bobby Hill. So the 5 on the floor for Bradley is Twy, Franklin, Crouch, Singh, and Warren. Illinois State counters with Richardson, Dilligard, Vandalo, Johnson, and Osiris Eldridge. Now it's going to be Andrew Warren left open for 3.
Another great pass by Franklin. He's seeing the floor very well right now.
5 straight points now for Andrew Warren. He's given Jim Les a big lift off the Bradley bench. The Braves have their largest lead. At 3, it's 32-28. At 4, check that, it's 32-28. And now the ball is on the floor, and it's going to be a held ball. This time the possession arrow faces in favor of the Redbirds.
Illinois State's got to find an answer for Franklin. Not only on the defensive end, but they've got to find somebody on the offensive end to step up and kind of neutralize all the points and plays that he's making right now.
Now Bobby Hill's going to re-enter the game in place of Mike Vandalo.
We thought it'd be a little bit higher scoring than this, but they've put some points up on the board, both teams.
Well, the way the game started out, the Redbirds hit their first 4 3-point shots from the field, and they had 10 quick points. It did look like it was going to be a horse race with a lot of scoring, but then the game has settled down like a lot of these Bradley Illinois State games have done in the past. And with just over a minute to go now, it's 32-28 in favor of the Braves. Now we got a foul on the top of the circle. It's going to be against Andrew Warren. That should send Dom Johnson to the free throw line.
Haven't had a lot of that against the zone yet. I think Illinois State needs to start to penetrate and actually puncture that zone a little bit more than what they've been doing.
Keep forgetting, if you just joined us, Dom Johnson playing with a heavy heart tonight. He lost his grandfather this week. He was in attendance at his grandfather's funeral in Missouri earlier today. Hustled back for the game. He did not play in Tuesday night's game against Evansville. But Porter Moser said he's been involved in meetings and has been with the team as much as he can this week and was going to be ready if he could get back in time for the game, which has happened.
Yeah, from time to time, these situations do occur, unfortunately, and thankful the coaches are understanding and allow the kids to take care of what family matters they have to take care of. But I'm sure right now he's completely focused on one thing, and that's the game. So
a minute to go here now. 32-28. Bradley with a basketball and a 4-point lead. Singh inside, backs in on Dilligard. Kick out now to Twy. Works his way down the lane, drives, and scores off the glass.
Used his body well on that play.
Well, he is the king of the weight room, according to the Bradley coaching staff. He's the guy that just everybody looks to in the weight room because he just outlifts everybody, and he showed his strength there. 6-point Bradley advantage.
Porter wants a set here.
There's about a 9-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here. Richardson hands to Eldridge. 6 to shoot. Now it's going to be Don Johnson. His 3 is front of the iron, no good. Tipped around, controlled by Crouch. Now the Braves with a chance for another basket before the end of the half. Crouch is picked up from behind. Now it's going to be ISU's chance. Richardson all the way down, cross contact, three-point play.
Oh, what a huge swing right there. Illinois State takes a tough shot at the end of the clock. Bradley thinks they're going to come down and score at the end of the half. Nice hustle by 2 of the guys from Illinois State. I think that was Dilligard that might have tipped that away. And then Dom found a streaking Richardson to pretty much close out the half there. Well, that's the David Goliath story right there, isn't it? How big is Singh?
He's a lot bigger. He's at 6'9". He's a lot bigger. He's about a full foot taller than Richardson.
Traded 12 inches there, didn't they?
Richardson can't get the free throw to go down, though. And now it's Will Franklin. His three-quarter court shot was on target but short.
That was a big momentum swing there. Illinois State needed that play to stay now within 4. They really could have gone down 8 or 9, but fortunate bounce and play for them.
Halftime at Redbird Arena. It's Bradley 34 and Illinois State 30. Back with more from the half here at Redbird Arena in a moment.
That's going to be tough to overcome. So it'll be interesting to see how Illinois State handles the defensive glass and how they can keep Bradley from getting second chance points.
You saw the leading scorers, Zach Andrews and Will Franklin, each with 11. Brew Richardson leading the Redbirds with 8. And we start the second half with Bradley the basketball and the lead at 34-30. Bradley again in the road red uniforms with white and black trim. Illinois State in the home whites with red and black trim. Will Franklin picks up right where he left off. He now leads all scorers with 13 points. Franklin's out 5 of 7 from the field. Bradley matches its largest lead of the game at 6. It's 36-30. Illinois State started the game on a 10-0 run. And again, now Bradley with a 6-point advantage. The Redbirds, their first offensive look of the half. Dilligard lost the ball on the floor. It's still on the floor. And it's wrestled for. And let's see what they're going to decide here.
It was a game of streaks in the first half, like you said, 10-0 for Illinois State starting off, but that means that Bradley went on a 36-20 run to close the first half. Illinois State's got to do something to get Bradley out of that offensive rhythm that they seem like they're in right now with Ruffin and Franklin.
Greg Dilligard whistled for his first foul off that loose ball foul there. Again, a 6-point Bradley leads the Braves with the basketball. Franklin hands to Sally now at the top of the circle. Here's Andrews at that very productive first half. Sally tries to go back to him. Andrews' short shot is up and missed. And it's Brew Richardson who comes away with it.
See if Illinois State wants to push like they did early in the first half.
Now it's Levi Dyer. His 3 is missed. Long rebound. Dilligard comes up with it. He puts it back up and in.
There's a second chance point for Illinois State.
Dilligard 3 of 3 from the floor now. He has 6. The lead is back to 4 for the Braves. Levi Dyer the steal. It's a 2-on-1 if he wants it. He leaves it for Hill. Over Ruffin and in.
Intelligent play by Levi to give that up. He's not comfortable in the open court. Gave it to somebody who was a little bit more comfortable and was able to get the transition bucket there.
That's just the third Bradley turnover of the game, and the Redbirds turn it into points, and now it's a 2-point Bradley lead at 36-34.
Bradley's not going to have many turnovers. They keep the ball in the right guy's hands throughout the possession.
And now Franklin, or I should say Zach Andrews with a near steal that time, right in front of us. You mentioned about the way that the Braves take care of the basketball. Bradley's the only team in the country that averages 76 points per game, but fewer than 12 turnovers a game. And when you look at their style of play up and down, it's almost unfathomable.
That's one of the reasons why they get more shots than their opponents, is because they're not going to turn it over. They're going to make sure they get a shot out of each possession.
Well, yeah, when you talk about 38 field goal attempts for the Braves and just 21 for the Redbirds, yeah. Shooting the ball 17 more times here tonight. Now Illinois State with a chance to shoot for the tie or the lead here with a 3-ball. Richardson, kick out to Hill. Now it's Osiris. His 3 rims in and out and stayed out.
Good extra pass by Bobby Hill. Illinois State just couldn't convert.
Ruffin behind a screen from Twy now. Twy playing with that wrapped left hand. He broke a bone in his hand earlier this season. playing with pain the rest of the year likely. Twy on the baseline. Skips it over now to Crouch to Andrews. He's in the paint. Now he finds Twy. The Braves moving the basketball well. Ruffin penetrates, slipped the ball over his head to Zach Andrews, but it's an offensive foul on Daniel Ruffin.
Fabulous pass by Ruffin, but Dilligard able to negate the play with drawing a charge. It looks like Twy is a little bit hesitant right now to shoot the basketball. Illinois State's giving him some space. He doesn't want to shoot the basketball. I wonder if that's just from the way he shot it in the first half, or that's something that Bradley's trying to do. That'll be interesting to keep our eye on that.
That player control foul on Daniel Ruffin is his third at the 17-minute mark. So Daniel Ruffin now with 3 fouls. Again, the Redbirds were a basketball and a chance to tie this game up, or a 3-ball gives them the lead.
Going to run screen and roll.
Slack. Backs in on Andrews, drew a double team. Now it's Richardson. His 3 is missed. Twy comes away with it. Now it's Franklin in the front court. Bradley quickly up the floor. It's Jeremy Crouch for 3. He sat there right in front of the Bradley bench, waited for the shot, and then loaded and fired it down.
Great pass by Franklin. Bradley will always find the open man. In fact, you'll find a lot of times in the NBA, you'll find him swing to get the extra pass. Bradley does a lot of that.
And now Levi Dyer is stripped. Andrews comes away with it. Front court is Crouch. Lobs for Andrews and a dunk.
That looks like they're back in Peoria against Creighton. That's the play I talked about. He is so athletic.
And now Porter Moser wants to talk things over. What a stretch there by the Braves. A 3-point make from Jeremy Crouch, and here the assist. An acrobatic play by Zach Andrews.
He gives it up, and then he runs and streaks down the floor. Crouch throws it up, and Andrews brings it home. I like the way he runs the floor.
Well, Zach Andrews has 13 points now to go along with Will Franklin. Those two guys have combined for 26 of the Braves' 41. And Bradley's a different team when Zach Andrews is on the floor, when he's not in foul trouble, when he's active. The Braves are a different team.
Bradley's got spurt ability. They have the ability to put 5-point runs, 8-point runs, 12-point runs together. And the other team doesn't know what hit them.
We remind you that tomorrow afternoon, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Our coverage begins with CBS Sports at 11 a.m. Super Bowl 41 from Miami, the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts. 11 a.m. pregame, kickoff shortly after 5 o'clock, about 5:20. And we've got postgame coverage after the game as well.
So how long does that make the pregame?
I'm surprised it's actually starting at 11. I thought it was starting about tonight, to be honest with you. Someone argued that the pregame started as soon as the NFC and AFC championship games were over 2 weeks ago.
That's a lot of pregame.
That's a lot of pregame.
We think we got a tough time filling 30 seconds.
Nice crowd here at Redbird Arena again on a night when the floor is named Doug Collins Court, named after the greatest player to ever wear an Illinois State uniform, a U.S. Olympian in 1972, an NBA draft pick in 1973. Now an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster for the NBA. And a nice little ceremony at halftime. Hope that you were alongside and joined us for that. And now it's back to basketball as the Braves have run out now to their biggest lead of the night at 41-34.
I'm sure Porter diagrammed a play for this possession, but most of his conversation had to focus on defense. He talked about the game 10 days ago, and in the first couple possessions, it looked like Illinois State gave up on defense in that run that Bradley put together in Peoria. I'm sure he's asking the players to buck up on defense and not let the same thing happen again.
Dyer. Let's see if they got a foul or do we have a whistle. We've got a foul against Bradley, so Levi's going to get to the free throw line, it looks like. That foul is going to go against Zach Andrews. And that's his third foul. We have an officials timeout. 15:48 to go here in regulation. Bradley 41, Illinois State 34. Back to Redbird Arena in a moment.
bigger refunds are better. And at Sharp Income Tax Service, you'll get bigger refunds within minutes of walking through our doors. Get your money now at Sharp Income Tax Service.
Fly nonstop from Peoria to Tampa, St. Petersburg on Allegiant Air. Fly nonstop from Peoria to Tampa, St. Petersburg. Book now on AllegiantAir.com.
You're watching WMBD News Channel 31, your exclusive home for Super Bowl 41.
At Fort's Toyota of Pekin, we make it easy. Drive America's #1 selling car, the 07 Camry. Check out 7 vehicles that get 30 miles per gallon or better, including the Corolla, Avalon, and RAV4. We're easy to get to. Just take I-474 to Route 29. Only at Fort's Toyota of Pekin. Moving forward. Fort's Toyota of Pekin.
Hey, don't forget to set your VCR for the Jim Barnett Weekend Showcase. Sunday mornings at 10, right here on WMBD, Channel 31.
Here's another look at that foul. The officials are saying now that Levi was not in the act of shooting, so they will not award him with any free throws. The foul was whistled against Zach Andrews there. Andrews has picked up his 3rd, but the ball will be sidelined out of bounds.
Porter was not happy about that call. In fact, he spent about half of his time during that break talking to the officials. He felt like Levi should have been at the line. I may agree with him there.
Eldridge to trigger. He's on the floor with Slack, Dyer, Johnson, and Richardson for the Redbirds. Ball's on the floor, and a baseline step out by Bradley, so the Redbirds will maintain possession. Bradley's 5 on the floor. Andrew Warren, Will Franklin, J.J. Twy, Matt Sally, and Jeremy Crouch. Slack again will trigger for the Birds, who are down by 7. It's Bradley's largest advantage of the game right now, 41-34. Johnson's guarded by Crouch now, and another whistle away from the basketball again against Bradley.
That might be a little bit of a makeup call there from the last one.
That was going to go against J.J. Twy, and that's his 2nd. Jim Les just got a little warning there by the officials. He's not too happy down there. He was told to stay in his box. So now Eldridge off the inbounds. He's left open. He can't get it to go. Crouch had the ball off his hands and out of bounds. The Braves did a nice job of crashing the glass, but couldn't come away with the rebound.
Good out of bounds play by Illinois State to find Eldridge open off the screen. You got to be able to score out of bounds underneath. If you can get an extra 4 or 6 points per game from scoring off your out of bounds plays, that's a real advantage.
Redbirds 2 of 6 from the field here to open the second half. There's Slack off the feet from Dyer.
Levi's made a couple good passes tonight.
Yeah, Levi Dyer now with 5 assists tonight. Twy goes inside the Sally, back out to Twy. Penetrate, kick out. Franklin with the save. I agree with you. JJ's really not looking to shoot the basketball.
Very hesitant to shoot.
And Franklin is fouled. This time it's going to be against Illinois State. See if they whistle that on Slack. Yes, they will.
We know he's got the ability to score. We saw him use his body creatively in the first half. Maybe it was just a couple outside shots that he just doesn't feel comfortable for some reason tonight. He's also got a wrap on his hand.
Yeah, that was from his break earlier this year when he broke a bone against Missouri State in the loss at home to Barry Hinson's Bears. Slack picks up his 3rd foul now on that whistle. Twy has gone to the bench. Danny Adams has come in for Bradley, and ISU's in the zone now. Here's Sally. We're under 15 minutes to go here. Will Franklin drop down to Sally. Dilligard goes over to help, and it's going to be a blocking foul against Greg Dilligard. That'll be his 2nd. And that'll be the 3rd against the Redbirds here in the second half.
Will Franklin's always going to make something happen.
And now Bobby Hill's going to re-enter the game for the Redbirds. He'll replace Osiris Eldridge. So it's Bobby Hill, Dom Johnson, Levi Dyer, Greg Dilligard, and Boo Richardson on the floor for Illinois State. Will Franklin, Danny Adams, Matt Sally, Andrew Warren, Jeremy Crouch for the Braves. Franklin works the baseline and slips it into Sally.
Great look. He's got eyes out of the back of his head, I think.
Franklin now with 4 assists to go along with his 13 points. First points of the night for Sally. Dilligard on the other end. Nice play by the Redbirds. Now it's Crouch. He tries to answer. He missed the shot, tipped up, and couldn't go by Sally. And it's Dilligard who comes down with it. He's fouled in the backcourt by Crouch.
We saw a couple nice passes right there. One by Franklin, then Levi comes right back and gives a high-low look. I think Illinois State's doing a good job tonight, starting the offense and running it through Levi. Maybe they could exploit that a little bit more.
I think that's a great point. Levi Dyer with 6 assists tonight.
He's not scoring like he has in the last couple games, but he's definitely making a contribution.
Now Johnson goes inside to Dilligard, who draws a double team. Now Johnson left open. His 3 is good.
Illinois State needs to find somebody on the perimeter that can start to loosen things up down low.
Well, Johnson now has 3 3-point makes against Jim Less's defense. And he's pulled the Redbirds within a basket now. It's 43-41 in favor of the Braves.
That was their first 3-point shot of the half.
And the Redbirds made 4 of their first. They were 4 for 4 from 3-point land to open the game and have just 2 3-point makes since. And that was a big one for Illinois State. Ruffin looks inside to Sally. Touch pass out to Jeremy Crouch. He'll try a 3. That's no good. And the rebound is ripped down by Bobby Hill. Johnson looks inside and now goes outside to Hill. It's Dilligard. Nice overplay that time by Matt Sally. Knocked the ball out. Redbirds will try to reload the offense. It's Dilligard again. Draws the double team. He goes to Levi Dyer. His 3 from the top of the circle is good, and the Redbirds are in front.
He kind of had to wrestle that ball away from the defender. He just felt like he needed to shoot it. That was a good decision.
And now Jim Less calls for a 30-second timeout. So the Redbirds on a little bit of a run. Now, we thought that was a 3-point shot, but the scorer here at the scorer's table is even at 43. We'll see if they call that a 3 or a 2. Certainly from this vantage point, that looked like that was a 3-point make. But at least at this point, maybe that was just a 2 and it was a 43-43 all game. But Dyer, as we mentioned, has not been scoring as much tonight, but he's been doing a little bit of everything else. He's got 6 assists now, and he's knocked down that 3-pointer or that 2-point shot against a tie. And our replay, guys in the truck tell us that the replay is not conclusive as to whether or not that was a 2-point shot or a 3-point make.
And Levi's involved one way or another. As of right now, he's going to go ahead and take a little bit of a breather, but getting him involved in the offense is just going to pay dividends for Illinois State. Of course, they did call it a 2 now. It was just announced to the crowd.
And that's what Porter Moser is getting an explanation now from the officials. See on our replay here if we can tell from this look from the top there. A near steal by Jeremy Crouch, and Levi, well, boy, that's really, really close.
That looks like that might have been
maybe that was a 3. But the officials are not asking to check the replay. And so we'll play on, and the score is even at 43. Sally, did he walk? They're going to wave the basket off, trailing.
Bradley does not turn the basket over when their guards handle the ball. But when the big men get involved, some funny things just tend to happen.
Well, the Braves had just 2 first-half turnovers, and now here in the first 7 minutes of the second half, they've already got 3, so they got 5 total.
And that's with any team. That's not just Bradley. That's just when the big boys get the ball, for some reason they're not as comfortable as the guards.
Mike Vandelo in the game for the Redbirds. Johnson penetrates, hangs, fires, scores off the glass.
Good aggressive play. Illinois State swung the basketball, made the extra pass. Dom made a little bit of an acrobatic shot there. Those are the types of shots that Will Franklin tends to hit.
Johnson now the leading scorer for the Redbirds. He's in double figures. He has 11. Roughing the pump fake into Andrews. Tried to slip the ball to Sally. Back to Andrews. Up and in.
Could have been an and one right there.
Zach passed up the short shot initially, but then got it back from Sally and flipped it up and in. Zach Andrews now with 15 is the game's leading scorer. We're tied at 45.
Bradley's going to give a zone look here.
Johnson with Franklin on him. He shoots over Franklin. Front of the rim is no good. Ruffin gets it for the Braves. Ruffin slips the pass into Sally. It was a look-away pass, and Daniel Ruffin with a little needle of a pass down to Sally. Sally now has 4, all here in the second half, and it's a 47-45 Bradley advantage.
I'm so impressed with how well the Bradley guards see the floor. On TV, you can always see that, but in person, that was amazing from down here.
Now it's Vandalo. Works in on Andrews. Hangs, fires off the glass, won't go. It's Sally that clears. Again, Andrews playing with 3 fouls. Now Ruffin in the front court. Thought momentarily about the outside shot. Franklin gets a screen from Sally. He penetrates. He slipped it down to Sally, who's going to be fouled. Let's see if they call it before the shot. It will be before the shot. It will be against Dom Johnson of the Redbirds. So the foul will be against the Birds, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 10:39 to go. We're about halfway through the second half. It's Bradley 47 and Illinois State 45. The I-74 rivalry here at Redbird Arena.
We always have new and exciting things coming at Goods.
Solid wood, solid value. Visit Kincaid Home Furnishings, just one of the many stores at Goods in Kewanee.
We're still the one Southside Bank. There is a difference. Southside Bank.
Southside has been involved in what I call our family, meaning our business as well as our personal lives. They've become part of our overall family, not only from a business standpoint, but from a personal standpoint. Southside Bank is the one for us.
We're still the one Southside Bank. There is a difference. Southside Bank.
That's one serious truck. The all-new Toyota Tundra, moving you forward at Peoria Toyota Scion.
It's a whole different experience at Goods than I think anywhere else. The restaurant, the bed and breakfast, all the kids love the fish pond. So it's just an easy way to spend the day with your family.
Franklin comes off a double high ball screen, and the 2 Illinois State defenders get mixed up, and then a foul is called on Illinois State. That was a good play by Bradley.
Well, Matt Sally, who was held scoreless in the opening half, has been more active here in the second half. He's got 4 points here after intermission. He's helping the Braves to a 47-45 lead, so that foul was whistled against Dom Johnson. Bradley will have the basketball underneath the ISU hoop here as Will Franklin will inbound.
Bradley's going to set a lot of high ball screens to bring Illinois State's bigs away from the basket, allowing driving lanes and cutting lanes for the big guys.
Roberto Fortes is checked in the game now for Illinois State, as has Danny Adams for Bradley. Franklin gets the pass into Andrews, skip out now to Ruffin. Now it's going to be a 3 from the top of the circle. Adams is good. Danny Adams, who had just 23 three-point makes in his career coming into this season, now has 46 for this year alone. So he has completely doubled his career output this year.
This is a critical time for Illinois State not to let Bradley get on one of those signature runs.
Now Levi Dyer drew contact on J.J. Twy, and it's going to be Levi getting to the free throw line. Well, we are seeing some of the more improved players in the Missouri Valley Conference on the floor. We've talked a lot about Will Franklin and how he has stepped up his game, and certainly Zach Andrews is improving. And this guy here, Levi Dyer, especially in about the last 12 games, has really improved his presence.
Well, the coaches didn't know what they were going to get out of Levi this year. In fact, the first couple of games of the year, I don't know if they expected much for the rest of the year, but he's really stepped up. He's actually the leading scorer now on the team, and I think he's the guy that wants the ball at this point in the game.
Well, since becoming a starter 12 games ago, he's had 11 double-digit scoring games, and 4 of those games were 20-point efforts. So it's a situation where he just started getting a little bit more confident, a little more comfortable on the floor, and it's registered on the scoreboard. Now it's Adams' second in a row. So Danny Adams has made 2 consecutive three-point shots. And Bradley has his largest lead of the game now. It's 43-76. I'm sorry, 53-46, a 7-point lead.
Probably a nice gift to Coach Les that he steps up right now during the game.
Richardson, kick out now. Levi Dyer had Slack for a moment down low, but Andrews covered him up. Now Dyer from the top of the circle. His 3 is no good. It's Andrews out-muscled by Slack, and Slack is going to get to the free throw line. Andrews just picked up his 4th foul.
Slack got the inside position and took advantage of it. That's a big foul for Bradley and for Andrews. He's going to have to come and sit down for a little bit.
Matt Sally is at the scorer's table, and he'll check in now for Andrews. Undoubtedly a Slack to the free throw line. The Redbirds not taking advantage of their foul shots here. Illinois State now 10 of 19 from the foul line tonight.
It's a 7-point lead with 9 minutes to go. Illinois State has got to protect where they're at right now. They cannot let it get out to 10, 11, 12. That would just be too hard to overcome.
Slack splits his foul shots now. It's a 6-point Bradley lead. The Braves will bring the ball up the floor. Anthony Slack, along with Levi Dyer, tied for the team lead in scoring at 10.3 a game, but Slack now with just 4 points here tonight. The Braves have done a nice job of defending him. Ruffin. His pass was intended for Matt Sally, and it was Slack that came over and knocked it out of bounds.
I expect Bradley to get a 3-point shot with the lineup that they have on the floor.
Nine to shoot. Franklin had the ball stripped, but it went right to Sally, who forced up a shot and in. He changed the shot in midair. Kind of double clutched and got it in. 6 second-half points now for Matt Sally. Now Boo Richardson tries a 3-ball answer. That's no good. It's off of Sally and out of bounds. It should go to the Redbirds. Sally appears to be hobbling a little bit. Greg Dilligard will trigger for the Birds, who are down 8 now. The largest lead of the game was 10 for Illinois State. The Redbirds started out on a 10-0 run to open the game and really were on fire shooting the 3. But since that time, they've slowed down offensively, obviously. And now find themselves in an 8-point hole.
Illinois State's just looking for somebody to step up right now. Who will it be?
And there's a whistle that's going to be against Danny Adams as he bodied up on Slap. And so now that's the 7th team foul against the Braves. There'll be free throws from here on out for Illinois State. That's the 3rd foul now against Adams, so the fouls are starting to pile up for the Braves. Twy, Ruffin, and Adams each with 3 fouls, and Zach Andrews on the Bradley bench with 4. But Anthony Slack can't convert on the free throw line. Will Franklin alertly saved the ball off of Boo Richardson out of bounds. It was a heady play by the senior from Houston.
Those are big free throws right now.
Well, the Redbirds 11 of 21 from the free throw line. They've not taken advantage of the foul situation.
Hill's going to come back in the game. He's going to put token pressure on Ruffin at 3/4 court.
Crouch left open. His three is off the side of the rim. No good. Tipped out of bounds by Danny Adams, so it's going to go to the Redbirds.
Probably a lucky play for Illinois State there. The official could have absolutely called a foul on Adams and put Dilligard at the line, but instead, Illinois State probably rather have the ball.
Birds trying to offer some, just muster up a little offense here. Johnson, he's had the hot hand. Lost the dribble, looking for some help. Now it's Dilligard looking inside. It's Anthony Slack bodying up on Danny Adams. Slack lost the ball in the corner, and it's off of Slack and out of bounds. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 7:38 to go here in Normal, where Bradley leads Illinois State 55-47.
Hey, guy from work I don't really know.
Guess we have to be polite and talk, but I just want to go eat breakfast.
I'll act like I'm late.
Oh, great.
Now get 2 Egg McMuffin or 2 Sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches or one of each for just $3 at McDonald's.
You can't ignore it forever. It's your future. It's real life. Whatever your goals may be, it's important to get real answers from people you know and trust. At Country Insurance and Financial Services, we'll help you feel secure for everything life has coming your way. Country, real answers for real financial security. Because this is real life.
This is our country.
Recently, Car and Driver invited 600 of its readers to compare 3 cars in performance, handling, and styling. So who won? Camry? Accord? Actually, the all-wheel drive Ford Fusion came in first. Check it out yourself. Visit a Ford dealer or go to FusionChallenge.com. Now just sign and drive off. With 0 down, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing, lease a Ford Fusion for only $249 a month. Take the Fusion Challenge today.
Looks like somebody missed that time.
Get back to your senses with McDonald's new Honey Mustard Snack Wrap. The tender, all-white chicken breast meat now comes grilled and topped with a sweet and sassy honey mustard sauce.
Back here at Redbird Arena, here was that last sequence. Will Franklin actually had the ball knocked from him, but Matt Sally right place at the right time.
Well, when you're aggressive, good things happen, whether it be a penetration and a kick or a score or even a lucky bounce. The Braves absolutely take advantage of the aggressiveness by Franklin.
I'm not sure if they credited him with an assist on that play, but he has 5 on the night to go along with his 13 points. Right now, Zach Andrews leads all scorers with 15. He's 7 of 8 from the field. He's played a terrific game for Bradley. Meanwhile, Illinois State is led by Dom Johnson with 11 points. And again, the Redbirds were unsure if Dom would play tonight because he attended the out-of-state funeral of his grandfather in Missouri earlier today, and he got his scrambled back here to Normal and in the lineup, and the Redbirds have really needed him. He's played well. It's Ruffin from the corner. His 3 is missed. Boo Richardson high up to get it for the Redbirds. Richardson now with 6 rebounds. He's the smallest guy on the floor.
He's had a lot of rebounds like that tonight.
Anthony Slack inside. He missed the short shot. Dilligard offensive board. Around a triple team. Up and in. And a 3-point opportunity for Greg Dilligard, who still has not missed a shot from the floor. He's now 5 for 5 tonight, Todd. He's 13 of 13 on the season against the Braves.
Excellent offensive rebound here. Slack with the miss. Dilligard finds the position. He collects himself very nicely and draws the 3-point play.
And makes the free throw. Dilly now in double figures with 11 points.
ISU's going to tick up the pressure a little bit.
Dom Johnson guarding Daniel Ruffin. It's a good matchup. Johnson is Illinois State's best perimeter defender. On the shot clock now. Ruffin, kick out. Adams, his 3 from the corner is good, and Danny Adams continues to shoot the 3-point shot for the Braves.
He's in rhythm right now.
He has 9 points, all on three-point makes. A big lift for the Braves off the bench. He had 8 three-pointers in a game against Florida A&M earlier this year. Illinois State wants timeout. Porter Moser calls a 30-second timeout. But Adams is one of those streaky shooters. Again, he had 24 points on the strength of 8 threes earlier this year against Florida A&M. And again, remember, this is a guy that averaged just 1.7 points per game last year and has got that up to about 6.5 points a game this year. We remind you that tomorrow your place for the Super Bowl is right here on News Channel 31. Super Bowl 41, the Bears and the Colts. Pregame begins at 11 o'clock from CBS. Kickoff shortly after 5, right here on your home for Super Bowl 41, News Channel 31.
That play was created by Ruffin. He's got 7 assists. Of course, Adams, that's got to be Adams' best friend right there. And you know Ruffin's going to find him. If anybody's open, Ruffin's going to find him, and that's exactly what's been going on.
Earlier this week, Adams talked about growing up in Central Illinois and coming to games between Bradley and Illinois State as a spectator. He grew up watching another former Metamora sharpshooter, Aaron Zobrist, play for the Braves in the mid-90s, and now he's likely playing in his final Bradley-Illinois State matchup. There's Levi Dyer driving into the paint and scoring. Dyer now in double figures. He's got 10. He's right about his average. 10.3 is his average. Daniel Ruffin in traffic hits the floater. Now quickly back up the floor. Boone Richardson had the ball stripped. It's Ruffin who got a hand on it. It's Franklin that comes away with it. He blows right by Dyer. Stops. Kick out now to Twy. Now it's Adams. Braves moving the basketball around. Under 5.5 to go here. Bradley with a basketball and an 8-point advantage.
Bradley's going to put this game in Daniel Ruffin's hands.
There he is again. His three is no good. It's Dilligard. The rebound for the Birds.
I think Coach Les can live with that. As long as he's holding on to the basketball, the Braves have a good chance to win here.
The rebounding totals right now are dead even, 28 apiece. Johnson looking for help. He goes to Dilligard. Ball is on the floor. Ruffin got his hand on it quickly. Now it's Dyer. They rotate to Levi, and he hits the three. Nicely done by the Redbird offense.
That's where he wants to shoot from. He feels comfortable right there at the top of the key.
We mentioned that rebounding statistic because the Braves are usually out-rebounded by their foes by 7 rebounds a game. And usually one of the keys to beating Bradley is to really pound them on the glass. We're under 4.5 to go here at Redbird Arena, and it's a 5-point Bradley lead, 60-55, with the Redbirds with a basketball.
Porter's going to call a set here.
Osiris Eldridge, his three is missed.
That's what they wanted, though. Good look.
Well, Eldridge, who in recent games has really had the hot hand for the Braves, or for the Redbirds, has been held to just 2 points tonight. This is a 30-second timeout now called by Bradley.
It's probably a good move by Coach Les. Illinois State's got this thing within 5. Bradley will probably want to come out of the timeout, put the ball in the hands of Ruffin, put the ball in the hands of Franklin, let them make a play, kind of let them bring this thing home for the last 4 minutes.
Well, so one of the advantages, excuse me, Tyler, one of the advantages when you run a 3- and 4-guard offense, one of the advantages late in the game, you have multiple ball handlers on the floor.
You have multiple ball handlers, good passers, and you probably have very good foul shooters. So if Bradley can get a lead, I would say 9 times out of 10 they're able to salt the lead away. Now Illinois State on the other end, they've got to continue to put pressure on the ball. They've got to continue to throw the ball inside and then allow it to come back out, because that seems like where they're getting their best 3-point looks is when the ball actually goes inside and then comes out to a Levi Dyer or to a Dom Johnson.
4 minutes to go now here at Redbird Arena. Don't go anyplace, folks. This one's shaping up for a fantastic finish. Foul on Bobby Hill as he was shadowing Ruffin. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 3:45 to go here at Redbird Arena. It's a 5-point Bradley lead, 60-55.
People have knocked on our door for over 30 years. Let our experience in workers' compensation and personal injury cases go to work for you.
We invite you to call Parker and Halliday for a free consultation.
Wishing for the perfect new car and a loan rate to match? Your wish is our command.
Looking for a credit card with no teaser rates? No annual fees? No out-of-town runaround? You found it.
She is and will be. Hearts on Fire, the world's most perfectly cut diamond.
Available exclusively at Bremer Jewelry in Peoria and now Bloomington.
Velde GM Super Mile Warranty at Velde GM Supercenter in Pekin.
Earlier tonight, they unveiled Doug Collins Court. Tonight, they named the floor here at Redbird Arena after the best player to ever play basketball here at Illinois State, the All-American, the Olympian, the NBA draft pick in 1973, Doug Collins. He and his wife and his daughter and her husband and his son and his wife all here in attendance. Standing ovation for Doug Collins before the game for the ceremony, and then at halftime he had a chance to address the faithful here. It's been a special night here at Redbird Arena. Doug Collins Court. From here on out, the floor here at Redbird Arena is named after Doug the Jet, who wore number 20. He's the only Illinois State player in history to ever have his men's basketball jersey retired. Back to action here. Bradley with a basketball and a 5-point advantage as we're at the 3.5-minute mark left here. 60-55. Kurt Pegler, Todd Cagle with you for round 2 of the I-74 rivalry. The Braves won the opener 10 days ago in Peoria by 21 points. This game has been much closer.
Looks like Bradley's going to try and take some time off the clock for each possession.
3 to shoot. Adams, catch and shoot. His 3 is good. That might be his most important 3 of the night.
Well, we had a perfect angle on that. When that left his hands, he just knew that was going to go down.
Adams with 4 3-point makes on the night, give him 12, and that bailed the Braves out, who were down to 2 seconds on the shot clock, and now an offensive foul against Illinois State. Levi Dyer picks up his 3rd foul.
We'll be able to see that one or not. That's big. Levi's got to go sit for them.
See if you can tell here, as he was backing in on both Twy and Zach Andrews. Andrews again playing with 4 fouls. And the Braves are now in the bonus, as that is the 6th team foul against the Redbirds. So now Bradley is also going to be shooting free throws from here on out.
There's a lot of contact early in the game. I guess it's going to tighten up from here on out. Bradley will be happy to go ahead and use 32 seconds of each possession here.
Will Franklin hangs, fires. He missed the shot. Boone Richardson at 5'9", back on the defensive end to come away with it. Dilligard looks inside to Slack. It's Hill who gives the ball to Slack. Anthony Lawson on the floor, and the Braves come away with a huge turnover. And now at the 2-minute mark, Bradley has an 8-point lead in the basketball.
Illinois State's got a pressure, got a double team, trap, and try and cheat for a turnover here.
To Zach Andrews, and the ball is picked up by Adams, who laid it in, and now on the floor is Anthony Slack, and he's hanging on to his right ankle.
Anthony Slack. Where's the ball?
Well, it was kind of a broken play here, Todd. The play was intended for Zach Andrews. He got tied up with Dom Johnson, but it's Slack who crashes to the floor hard, and Andrews got the easy layup.
Yeah, it looked like his right ankle. He landed on somebody else's foot, and he just twisted it very hard. I've had those things happen before. It takes a while to walk those off. Looks actually a little bit more serious than that, doesn't it?
Let's see another look here on the replay, if we can get a look as Anthony's being helped to his feet. Here's the collision. Watch the way he lands. Right on Zach Andrews' heel. Hey! So he came down on the heel of Andrews and twisted the ankle, it appears, and he's at least heading off the floor under his own power. Illinois State trainer John Munn hates when he gets on TV because it means he's helping somebody back to the bench.
Probably at some point anyway, Levi was going to come back in. I don't know if that hurts Illinois State. Definitely hurts them for future games, but for right now, they need to find a way to manufacture 10 points in a hurry.
From the outside, a three by Dom Johnson is missed. The ball is tipped, and Zach Andrews saves it under his own basket, and Danny Adams comes away with the steal.
Danny Adams may be the player of the game for Bradley.
I'm not sure I can disagree with you there, Todd. He has been so big for the Braves. He's not only done it offensively, but they're a big steal on the defensive end. And the Braves are smelling a victory here at Redbird Arena for the second straight year. It would be the first time since the Braves won 3 in a row in normal, 86, 87, and 88, that Bradley's been able to post back-to-back wins on the road at ISU.
Adams seems to have been at the right place at the right time tonight. There are just some games that happens to you as a player. He's definitely taken full advantage of that, though.
Daniel Ruffin at the free throw line. He is a good foul shooter, 75%. Funny these days when you start talking about guys being good foul shooters when they're 75, 76, 77%.
A bit of a lost art.
Yeah. Boo Richardson missed his 3. Adams, guess what? Comes away with the defensive rebound. And now it's a 12-point game with a minute to play. And Adams with an alert pass now to Ruffin. The Braves are in the front court, and they hold the hammer here now. As they're trying to salt the clock away, they play a little keep away from the Redbird defense. Franklin is guarded now by Johnson. And now Boo Richardson tries to double team. It's Twy with the ball. He's fouled from behind by Dom Johnson.
This is a big win for Bradley. They were 3-6 on the road. They needed a big win, not just for themselves, but to continue to prove to themselves that they can go after postseason. They really needed something like this on the road. I think this will really give them a lift for the rest of the season, or for the rest of the year.
Well, as big as this game is for the fans, the Braves had said this week that it's a bigger game for this team, for the Bradley team, because the Braves had lost 2 in a row and were in danger of a 3-game losing streak, and they got to go to Southern Illinois this week, and they didn't want to have a 3-game losing streak heading to Carbondale. Nice basket there by Richardson. And certainly, even after starting in a 10-0 hole, I think you got to give the Braves some credits for their resiliency.
I agree. I think there's also some positive things to take away from Illinois State's perspective. You know, 37 of the 50 starters returned in the Missouri Valley Conference this year. Unfortunately, Illinois State didn't have the luxury of bringing back experienced players, but I don't want to talk about next year already, but I think Porter's building a solid foundation. Next year he'll have the luxury. He'll have 5 players back, and then in a rivalry like Bradley and Illinois State, that's important to have experienced players, have guys that know what this is about, know how to play in this environment, and quite honestly, just know how to play with the emotion of the game. So,
well, when you look at the ISU roster and who has played tonight, only Greg Dilligard and Roberto Fortes would not play in this game a year from now. When you look at Dom Johnson and Boo Richardson and Bobby Hill, Osiris Eldridge, obviously, and Porter started 2 freshmen in his 5 tonight, and that's rare.
I know that's not a consolation for Porter right now. He wants to win every game, as do the fans, as do the players. But Bradley absolutely played with a lot of poise tonight, and I think they definitely deserve to win. So.
Well, Fortes now fouled Daniel Ruffin, who's going to go back to the free throw line. And again, when you take a look at the guys that really played well for Bradley tonight. I think you start your conversation with Zach Andrews, 7 out of 8 from the field for 15 points. And, of course, Will Franklin, who you have mentioned, has played very solid tonight. But Danny Adams, Daniel Ruffin just silently does his job. The way Adams played off the bench, really giving the Braves a big lift. Here's Don Johnson, who's played very well for the Redbirds. He misses the 3. J.J. Twy comes away with it before he's fouled quickly. And again, Johnson playing with a heavy heart tonight in the same day that he helped bury his grandfather at funeral in Missouri, comes back and plays for the Redbirds. Playing with a heavy heart, he has 11 points tonight. He's knocked down 3 3-point shots and a big lift for the Birds initially.
Yeah, he's been able to get his mind off of his personal matters for a couple hours. It's unfortunate now he has to leave the game not only with a loss, but kind of go back to that. But Illinois State's still got a long way to go this year. They have to play at Missouri State this week. That'll be a tough game for them. I'm sure they'll be back at practice tomorrow and be well prepared for that game.
Here's Boo Richardson hitting a floater.
Timeout, Illinois State.
And the Redbirds call timeout right away. Boo Richardson now is in double figures. He has now taken over the team lead. Check that, he has 12 points. Levi Dyer with the team lead in scoring with 13. Those of you folks, if you were tuning in for CSI Miami and Without a Trace tonight, you can still see it here on WMBD TV. We'll have CSI Miami tonight at 1:05, followed by Without a Trace at 2:05 right here on News Channel 31. So set your VCRs, set your TiVos, your DVRs for those programs.
So are you going to go ahead and give a prediction on the game tomorrow since everybody's waiting?
I was hoping I could get through this game without you putting me on the spot for a Super Bowl prediction. But I'm going to ask you first who you like.
Well, of course we have to like the Bears.
Well, yeah.
You know. Absolutely. We got to like the Bears and their defense.
Let me put it this way. I did not think the Bears were going to beat New Orleans, and they did. I do think they're going to beat the Colts tomorrow. I think they match up better against the Colts than they did against the Saints. But what do I know? I didn't think they'd get through the NFC Championship game. But folks, you can see that game right here. Colts, Bears, Super Bowl 41. Coverage at 11 tomorrow. Kickoff shortly after 5 o'clock, only here on News Channel 31. Fans are heading for their cars, and I hope they are dressed warmly because it is bone chilling out there tonight, folks. Jeremy Crouch in the backcourt, final 10 seconds of this one. He is fouled by Greg Dilligard. And it's just a matter of the foul shots here in the final 8.6 seconds to go.
You know, we're just here at the beginning of February. There's a long way to go in the Valley Conference race. This win will go a long ways for Bradley, but what an exciting finish the Missouri Valley is going to have in their regular season, and of course down in St. Louis. That's just going to be an unbelievable tournament come early March there.
Well, we mentioned that the Braves are heading on the road to play at Southern Illinois this week, and they've also got the Drake Bulldogs on the schedule for later in the week. You've already mentioned, Todd, that the Redbirds are going to be on the road at Missouri State. They've got a 3-game road trip now. They're at Missouri State, at Wichita State, and at Indiana State here. Little road stretch for the Redbirds, who are still looking for their first road victory. There's a 3 by Don Johnson. Final seconds of this one, and a backcourt foul again with 1.8 to go.
Get a chance to pad the stats if you're Will Franklin right now. He had a great game. He can put a little bit more on the top of that.
And don't think players don't know that this is stat padding time.
When the game is over, he knows it is. If it was in the heat of the moment, you don't even think about it. But I think at this point, he knows what he's up to.
Well, as we mentioned, his resume for being the first-team All-Missouri Valley Conference performer is getting bigger by the game. He makes the foul shot. Porter Moser and Jim Les shake hands at the half, at the court, I should say, mid-court. And it's a final. Bradley has come into Redbird Arena and beaten the Redbirds 70-62 to complete the season series. For our producer-director, Bill Baker, Steve Harris, for Todd Cagle, I'm Kurt Pegler. 70-62, Bradley over ISU, and good night from Normal.
Pottstown Meat and Deli, your main course source. 4 generations at the butcher's case make a difference in the way we taste.
Make your Valentine's Day with a heart-shaped steak for two, cut from Hereford beef and aged to perfection, only from Pottstown Meat and Deli. After all, the way to anyone's heart is through their stomach.
Pottstown Meat and Deli, your main course source.
You could go to 10 stores and still not see everything you'll see at Steakers.
See more, save more. Steakers in Pekin. Steakers, the largest furniture store you've ever seen.
Your hometown community banks announce free hometown rewards checking, paying a 4.01 annual percentage yield and refunds on nationwide ATM fees. Plus, there's no minimum balance and no monthly service charges. Call or stop by for details and see if you qualify for free hometown rewards checking at your hometown community banks with 14 locations in Morton, East Peoria, Sunnyland, Bartonville, Eureka, Roanoke, Minear, Pekin, and Manitou, and now with 2 Peoria locations on Knoxville and the Metro Center.
Safe drivers age 55 and over may qualify for auto insurance discounts from Auto Owners Insurance Company. More information on how to reduce premiums and increase coverage is available from your neighborhood agent, Mungie, Crouch, and Mahoney Insurance in Pekin at 347-7706.
When it comes to planning for the future, trust Country Insurance and Financial Services to keep you moving in the right direction. With down-to-earth, straightforward advice, Country Insurance and Financial Services is always there to keep you on the right path. Country, real answers for real financial security. For your family, for you, for a lifetime.
This is our country.
One day to Super Bowl 41 on WMBD TV.
Broyhill is just a great value. I mean, the designs are great, the prices are great, and we're lucky to have a Broyhill store right at Goods.
Are you ready for your next power outage? If not, we can help you get ready with a Guardian home standby generator from Midwest Equipment. Guardian generators are fully automatic, so you never have to turn them on or off. They run on LP or natural gas, so you never have to worry about keeping fuel in them. And at Midwest Equipment, we don't just sell Guardian generators. We offer installation and service after the sale. Don't be left in the dark. Own a Guardian home standby generator from Midwest Equipment. We are Central Illinois' generator headquarters.
It's a whole different experience at Goods than I think anywhere else. The restaurant, the bed and breakfast, all the kids love the fish pond. And so it's just an easy way to spend the day with your family.
The War on 74, Illinois State versus Bradley. Sponsored by Southside Bank. The Greater Peoria Regional Airport. Ford. Country Insurance. Sefview. Peoria Toyota. Bremer Jewelry. And Mungie, Crouch, and Mahoney Insurance.